Hello guys, welcome back to C-Hash or C-Sharp tutorial session 8. In today's session you can learn about C-Hash loop, where I will discuss for loop, nested for loop, while loop and do while loop. So there might be a situation when user need to execute a block of code several number of times until some condition is met. In general, statements are executed sequentially. The first statement in a function is executed first, followed by second, and so on. So loop statements are used for repetitive execution. In C-Hash, there are primarily three types of loops available. The first one is for loop, then second one is while loop, and third one is do while loop. So what is for loop? C-Hash for loop is a control flow statement that iterates a part of the program multiple times. For loop repeats a block of statement for a specified number of times. If the number of iteration is fixed, it is recommended to use for loop. So there are three kind of loop: for loop, while loop and do while loop. In case you already know the how many number of times you need to iterate, so you should use for loop. But in case your number of iteration is dynamic, not static one, you should go with while or do while loop. So what is the syntax for loop? For, then you need to give initialization, then condition, right, greater than or equal to or less than equal to value, and then increment or decrement iterator, and then within the second bracket you need to give the statement, right. This is the example given. So in case you want to print value from 0 to 5 numbers, you can use for syntax will be first for, then first bracket you need to define any variable where you need to initialize the data type and starting point, and then the condition, what is the maximum condition, and then whether a increment or decrement operator, then you need to give the statement here. Now let's try to implement a for loop here. So what is the syntax you need to use? For, then give bracket. You could see some suggestion it is giving. So initialization I can start with integer I equal to 0. Then the condition, suppose say I want to iterate less equal to 5, I want to go till 5, so less or equal to, in case you are giving less 5, so it will go till 4, and I plus plus is the increment operator. Then here I need to, you could see automatic suggestion is giving. So just I will call cart, I will just want to print the value of the I for every iteration. So what will happen? So here we are initializing I with 0, so it will start with 0. Then it will print the value here. The next time what happened, I will be added by 1, I plus plus, and then it will check the condition whether the 1 is less than equal to 5 or not. In case condition is satisfied, again it will print it. Similarly, it will go 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 condition is matching. But in case I become 6 but condition is not matching, so loop will be terminated. So that way for loop will work. Now if you run your code, you could able to see the output equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, because I have given the sign as I less than equal to 5. So that is the way you can print the value from I equal to 0 to 5. So that is the one kind of for loop. I can comment out the code, and then if you want to go in the reverse direction, right, you want to decrement, use the decrement operator. You can initialize, suppose say I equal to 10, the value will start with 10, then I want to go with 5, so it will match till 5, so greater than equal to 5. So as and when I value is starting from 10 and it is going till 5, or say I want to give it 3, so it will from 10, 9, right, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 and 3 it will go, and here I need to use I minus minus, so the value will be decreased by 1. So here initially value will be 10, it will be printed out. Then next I value will be minus minus 1 means 9, and it will check whether the 9 is greater than 3 or not. It will print it out, it will go till 3, and in case it is 2 here but the condition will not match, so your loop will be terminated. Now if you run your program, you could see the output will be 10 to till 3. So that is the way you can work with the for loop, where you can use the decrement operator. Now say I have the for loop to print the value or iterate it from 10 to 3, but in case I want to just keep particular condition, So I can use an if operator here, if statement here, and I can give some condition, right? I not equal to say 6, I don't want it at 6, and I ampersand I not equal to, here I need to give bracket, you can accept it, and here you can give bracket. Suppose say I don't want to iterate for I equal to 6 and I equal to 4. So these are the two part I want to skip it here. So it will start from 10 to 3, but here as and when it is equal to 6, it will not work, and also it will 4 also not printed out. So that way you can give some condition, and here you need to give some bracket. No need to give any break, but here you need to just. So that way within a loop you can give some condition so that those specific condition will be skipped out. It will just ignore it, remaining thing will work. Now if you run your code, you could able to see it will try to print out I equal to 10 till 3, but it will skip those condition I equal to 6 and I equal to 4. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 is not printed out, again 5, then 4 is again ignored, and 3 is come. So that is the way, right? You can skip, or you can give some condition where you don't want to reiterate. Then I can create a nested for loop. So in the previous statement you already learned about nested if else statement, means if else statement within an if else statement. Here also nested loops means, nested for loop means within a for loop I want to create one more for loop. So that is called nested for loop. So create a for loop here, same for loop, suppose say I want to create it, and I can give the condition as 2, right? So it will, so this is the primary for loop here. So it will start with I equal to 0, it will go 1 and 2, but I want to give one more for loop inside that for loop. So for again, and here I can define one more variable called j equal to 0 and j less equal to, suppose say I want to iterate 3 and j plus plus. Then you need to give one more bracket here, and I can cut that line, I can paste it here, and I need to print I and j both. So concatenation sign you need to use. If you want to give some space, you can give that space, and then again concatenation of the plus sign, and then you can give the value of j. So that way you can iterate with the nested for loop. So this is called outer for loop. So what will happen, first outer for loop I equal to 0 will be executed. Okay, so for I equal to 0, then your complete inner loop will be executed. So it will be go with 0, 1, 2 and 3. So for every I, all the j will be executed, or inner loop will be executed. So I equal to 0, and then corresponding to 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 will be executed. Then your, as and when your inner loop is completed, then again control will go to the outer loop, and outer loop will be incremented by 1, and it will match the condition. So again after that I will change to 1, and after 1 again inner loop j equal to 0 to 3 will be executed. Then again control will go to the outer loop, I will be increased by 1, so it will be 2 here, and again for 2 your inner loop will be executed. So that way it will go work. So first your outer loop will be executed, and for outer loop one value your inner loop will be fully executed. Then again control will go to the outer loop, and again for that value complete inner loop will be executed. That way execution will happen, and once your outer loop completion is done, so again your after that your inner loop will be ignored, right? Now let's try to run the nested for loop, and let's see the output. So it is trying to execute it. Now you could see the output here. So first outer loop is getting executed, which is 0, 1 and 2. So for every 0, inner loop will be executed 0, 1, 2, 3, because that is the value of the j, which is the inner loop, and that is the outer loop. And after that again outer will be incremented by 1. So for every 1, right, inner loop will be executed, that is 0, 2, 3. After that control will go to the outer loop, so it will be incremented by 1, and so it will, value will be 2, 1 plus 1 will be 2, and after for the 2 outer loop value your inner loop will be executed completely. So that way nested loop works in C#. Okay, so that's all about the different kind of loop, right? You can use the increment operator, you can use the decrement operator, right? You can use nested for loop as well. Okay, and you can give some condition if you do not want to right execute particular specific condition. You can use if statement within a loop itself. So that is all about the for loop. In case your number of iteration is fixed, you can go with the for loop. The next one is while loop. So in case your number of iteration is dynamic, it can vary, you do not sure about the number of iteration, you can go with the while or do while loop. So a while loop statement in C as programming language repeatedly executes a target statement as long as given condition is true. So while, so it will first check the condition, then your statement will be executed, then it will increment or decrement, and after that again control will go to the condition, it will validate and again increment and decrement. So that is the syntax. Initialization, then your condition will check, then your statement or the code block of code will be executed, then your increment or decrement will happen. Now we'll try to implement the while loop in C hash. So first we need to initialize. So let's initialize, suppose say integer I equal to say 5. I will start with 5 instead of 0, right? Then I need to give the while and then condition, while and then condition. So I want to go till say less than 10. I am not giving any equal to sign, so it will go till 9. Then your bracket, second bracket, and here you need to give your condition. So say console.WriteLine, and then I want to print out the value of the I, and then you need to give I plus plus. Okay, so that is all about the while loop. So first you are initializing the variable, then you are giving the condition, and in case your condition is matching, then it will be printed out here, right? And then it will be again incremented the value. After that you will check the condition, so that way your loop will iterate. Okay, now let's try to run it. So you could see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because your condition is less than 10. So I am not iterating till 10. So it will iterate till 9, 5 to 9. Now in case this condition is not matching, suppose say in case you are giving it 4. So condition is not matching. So what will happen? So it will not execute anything. It will give you the blank result because the condition is not matching. So it will first check the condition. In case condition is matching, then it will print the value. But in case condition is not matching, it will not give you any result. Okay, so that is the way you can use the while loop. And inside while loop also, if you want to skip something, right? Suppose say instead of less than 4, I want to give it 12. So what will happen? It will print value from 5 to 11. Now in case you want to give some specific condition, so similar way I can use the if part, and here also I can use, suppose say I not equal to, say I don't want to execute say I not equal to 10. So that part I want to ignore. Okay, and I plus plus will be within outside the bracket, and here is fine. So I not equal to, so it will be I not equal to sign. So integer I equal to 5, then I am giving the condition here, and here after the condition I am giving the if I not equal to 10, then I want to print the value, and then it will be prime plus plus. Yes. Now let's try to run your code and let's see how it is behaving. Okay, so I have initialization I equal to 5, then while I will check till 5 to 11, but out of which I don't want to print out the value of 10. So in case value is matching with 10, it will simply ignore. It will not consider the value equal to 10. It will print out the value, after that it will go to plus I plus plus. Now if you run it, so it will print 5 to 11, but it will skip the value of 10. So you could see 10 is not being executed here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 11. So that is the way, right? You can skip some value after giving the if statement within the while loop as well. Next one you can use is do while loop. So while and do while loop will be used whenever your number of iteration is not fixed or dynamic. But for the while loop, it will check the condition first, and in case condition is non matching, it will not print anything. But in case still you want to execute a loop at least once, though condition is matching or not, so you have to use do while loop. As the name suggests, do and then while. So it will do at least one time, or it will print something for the one time, and then it will check for the condition. So the C has do while loop is used to iterate a part of the program several times. If the number of iteration is not fixed, an user must have to execute the loop at least once. It is recommended to use do while loop. It executes a block of statement at least one irrespective of the condition. First the statement inside loop execute, and then the condition gets evaluated. If the condition return true, then the control get transferred to the do, else it jumps to the next statement after do while. So what is the syntax? Initialization, then do, then statement. After that it will increment or decrement, then it will check for the condition. So that is the syntax for the do while loop. So it will be first initialization, suppose say integer I equal to 0, then do, right? Then I can need to give bracket here, and here it will be statement. So statement is console.writeLine I, then I plus plus, and here outside it condition will be there. So here I am giving it while I, suppose say I want to iterate till 7. So I will be mentioning I less equal to 7 or less than 8. So that is the syntax for while, do while. So initialization, then do. So it does not matter whether condition is matching or not, so it will print the value of I equal to 0 first. Then it will increment it up, in case it is incremented, then it will check for the condition is matching or not. So that is the way it will till go till 7 from the 0. So it will be printed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So you could see the result. Now similar way for the for loop or while loop, in case you want to skip some condition, so what you can do it here, you can just give the if condition again here, right? And in case you can give the condition, suppose I don't want to print I equal to 3, and multiple condition also I not equal to 5. So these are the thing I don't want to execute, and then again you need to give bracket, right? And then that part you can close it, and I plus plus will be outside the bracket. So now you could see there is no error. Now you can run your code. So it will be starting with I equal to 0. It will go to condition I equal to 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I don't want to consider I equal to 3 and 5. So this 3 and 5 will not be executed. So 0, 1, 2, 3 got skipped, 4 and again 5 got skipped, and 6 and 7. So that way these are the 3 important loop you can use in C hash: for, while and do while. That's all from today's session. Thank you.